Today, I want to talk to everybody about our mental health crisis. Okay, I'm gonna talk to everybody about our mental health crisis. Okay, and I'm gonna compare two different sides. Okay, I'm gonna compare healthy versus high function. Okay, healthy versus high function. Okay, all right. So we got a situation now where a lot of people describe it as a mental health epidemic. Okay, you got a lot of people committing suicide. You got a lot of people, more depression than we've seen in a very long time. You have more and more people that's more anxious. There's more and more people that's less able to take and deal with their own lives. It's less and less people that are happy, less and less people that are content. And there's a whole lot more instability. There's a lot more divorces, a lot more breakups. Less people getting together. All of this is happening. Okay, and even friendships don't have the cohesion they used to. Okay, in a lot of situations. So we do have a mental health crisis in a way. We're having. Okay, but I'm gonna compare two different things. Okay, because where I would differ from most, okay, is what's behind the mental health crisis, and what the solution is on getting it better. Okay, what the solution is on getting it better. Okay, see, we humans, we have a problem. Sometimes we too smart for our own good. Okay, we too smart for our own good. Now check this out, right? So the way most food is, right? The way most food is, it tastes a certain way. Okay, a lot of natural foods, if we're honest with ourselves, they don't taste the best. They're not the sweetest. They're not the saltiest. But it tastes how it tastes. Okay. Now check this out, right? So we improve the taste on our food, right? And so then we eat more of the food, and then we go out and get more foods that are more tasty. And now people getting cancer from the food that we made that tastes better. And people are more overweight. People are less healthy. People getting cancer from it. And what's the solution, ironically? Them same foods that people didn't think tasted that good. Okay? And check this out. Because the food didn't taste that good, or taste moderate, if you will, okay, people didn't overeat it. So within itself, if we left it alone, it would have been a solution unto itself. Okay? And so sometimes we create more problems with our solutions than if we would have just left it alone the way it was. Okay? And I think there's some sectors in mental health where it's the same thing. Okay? Where it's the same thing. Now I'm gonna go over this word healthy. I'm gonna go over this side, healthy. Okay? I'm gonna go over this side, healthy. Healthy, okay? When people talk about healthy, okay, people often talk about something that's balanced. People often talk about something that's where you feel happy, where you feel okay, where you don't feel as much pain, okay? But the thing about what's healthy, sometimes when you go into functioning highly, okay, or doing something extremely productive, or doing something very well, it goes outside the range of healthy, okay? It goes outside the range of healthy. So in order to be your best self or your most excellent self, there's no way you're gonna get there without some pain. And then if you intentionally doing something, okay, to cause yourself pain, then that's outside of healthy. You see what I'm saying? So that's why sometimes it's a problem with the approach. Now check this out. Here's how it works in the real world. Okay? Here's how it works in the real world. Now I'm not ragging on therapists or anything like that. There's a lot of good people in those professions. And that's a very hard job to do. It's very difficult. And not everybody can do it. Okay? But we have a problem with our approach to mental health. Trying to get people healthy. Check this out. The way a lot of therapy is set up to use a particular set of treatments, okay? Set up to use a particular set of treatments. Now, irregardless of whether these treatments work or not, it's the treatments that you're paying for. It's the treatments that's keeping the businesses open. It's the treatments that the whole clinic is based on.
So if the treatments don't work, they'll still use them and just up the dosage of whatever drugs they give the person. Okay? Or they keep using the treatments and the person remain dysfunctional without the treatments for the next 10 or 15 years. And then that goes into the money of that clinic. And then they're being stabilized off that. Stabilized off the person's dysfunction. But check this out. What if that same person used good old fashioned discipline and power, okay, and got themselves right? Then they wouldn't need the clinic anymore. Now check this out. It get deeper. It get deeper. If the person that worked for the clinic, the therapist, use some of these techniques to get the person right, they might have a lawsuit on their hands. Somebody may sue you for emotional damage. You yelled at my client. You yelled at this kid. When in reality, that might have been what that kid needed to get right. You know, a good old-fashioned discipline and power, it solves a lot of things. It don't solve everything, but it solves a lot of things. It get a lot of people right. There's a lot of young boys and young men that are begging for discipline, but nobody will deliver it. Begging for somebody to push them to the next level. A lot of athletes, okay? They specifically get hard coaches for a reason. It ain't just for the sports. Sometimes they need it for their mind. Sometimes these kids out here wish somebody loved them enough to be tough on them, because everybody babying these people and it's making them weaker and weaker and weaker. And then when you got somebody that's weaker and weaker and weaker, more things hurt them more frequently. Then you have to do more things to get them to avoid the pain. And when you get a person like that, check this out. They can't be as supportive to each other. They can't be as supportive to other people. And so then you got a society of weak people that's hurt by everything, and now nobody can support anybody. So then more and more people are more lonely. So then you even got strong people that's in the situation where, hey, if I have a problem or if I have something going on, I can't tell my friends because then I'll lose them. So then you got a situation just like in Japan. We got people paying for friends. You got people paying for friends. You got people paying to have somebody come with them to go to dinner with them, to go to lunch with them, you know? And then sometimes in some therapy situations, okay, the role that some of the therapists are playing, they're doing the role of a friend where they just listen, and that's all they need. And they didn't need professional help for that. That's what your friends are supposed to be for. But everybody focusing on their personal mental health as an excuse and a guise for just being weak and selfish and not wanting to help nobody. And so as a result, there's a whole lot of people that will call themselves healthy, but they're weak and dysfunctional and ain't doing nothing for nobody. And it's bad for the society and it's bad for everybody, okay? But on the side of function, check this out. On the side of function, okay? I'm gonna say something crazy, okay? On the side of function, okay? A lot of people look at balance as the best way to function, but balance isn't always the best way to be the most productive and the best you that you can be. I'm gonna use the Corvette for example, okay? Back in the day, the Corvette used to have a 50-50 weight distribution. That means it has 50% of the weight in the front and 50% in the weight in the back. It was perfectly balanced, right? And so in recent years, they moved the engine to the rear, okay? And so now it's no longer balanced. More weight is in the rear than in the front. So it's 60-40, right? But guess what? When the engine is in the rear, okay? When the engine is behind the driver, okay? More acceleration, better braking, okay? Better top speed, more productive. And then check this out. A car that's racing, a car that's a top tier performer, all the top tier performing cars all have the engines in the back. They don't have a 50-50 weight distribution, because a 50-50 weight distribution doesn't put the weight over the wheels so they can get the traction they need so they can keep accelerating, okay? And it's just like human productivity, okay? Check this out. Some of the things that would make somebody elite or excellent will put them in a position where they seem out of balance according to everybody else's standards. But them same things that make them out of balance is what make them excellent, make them productive, make them a cut above the rest. And so some people, they just need to pursue excellence. Some people need to choose options that are balanced and healthy. It takes prayer and meditation to know the difference, because there's a lot of ways you can make mistakes. But the thing about it is, when somebody solely just goes on the basis of what the norm says or what the professionals say or stuff like that, then they're less likely to adjust and find the right particular answer for the individual. Okay, so that's what we need to do on today. We need to make sure that in pursuit of mental health, that we don't forego function, that we don't forego what's doing right for other people, that we don't miss out on getting strength, that we don't miss out on getting power, that we don't miss out on self-sacrifice and virtues that may be a little bit painful at first, but help us to become the people that we need to be for tomorrow, for ourselves and for everybody else. That's my message on today. You take care.